Today on the show, we're definitely talking about Port Royal, but more importantly, what I think is maybe the dumbest problem in sprint car racing. Let's go. It's Thursday, July 3rd. I'm Justin Fiedler. This is DIRTRACKR Daily presented by Kubota Genuine Parts. If you're playing those pick'em pools during the 2025 dirt racing season or participating in Dirt Draft, maybe you're going to throw some bets down on, USAC, High Limit, the Outlaws, or if you're just a stat nerd like me, check out the analytics section at DIRTRACKR.com. We track both World of Outlaws series, Lucas, High Limit, USAC, the Chili Bowl, Eldora late model events, Extreme Outlaw Midgets, and a whole lot more. The database is now north of 2,000 races. I think it might actually even be over 2,300 races at this point. There's results, there's stats, there's analysis, and in there you can find a ton of information for free. You don't have to sign up for anything. That includes full race results, driver pages, and breakdowns. But if you want access to even more, grab a subscription to DIRTRACKR Plus, $4.99 a month or $49.99 for the year. The year subscription gets you 2 months for free, and you can cancel super easily anytime. Just hit a button and you're done. Signing up gets you access to the Plus dashboard. It has added stat tools and visualizations, and you'll unlock more than 25 extra features, including things you're just not going to find anywhere else. Whether you're a race fan, a member of the media, maybe you work for a series or a racetrack, DIRTRACKR Plus is the perfect resource. You can see everything Plus has to offer and sign up for a subscription over at DIRTRACKR.com/GetPlus. I said a lot of times before on the show that I don't consume dirt racing live. When you try and keep up with as much as I do, it's just not possible or feasible to do it and also maintain any sort of a semblance of a normal family life. In the evenings, though, I do try and keep an eye on social media, so I have some idea for the next day what some potential storylines could be. I then get up in the morning, roll through the available replays, and proceed with putting the show together from there. Which brings me to this Port Royal Speedway PA Speedweek show from last night. Based on the social media reaction, this Port show was a dumpster fire of epic proportions. An undeserving winner, conspiracy theories on fuel stops, spins and getting your spot back, drivers should have been DQ'd, etc., etc. But when I watched the race this morning, if you knew nothing of the social media reaction in real time, you might kind of have watched it differently. The race was really kind of business as usual up until kind of the final 10 laps. Kyle Larson spinning all by himself was certainly notable, but everyone makes mistakes, and he actually had an entertaining charge back to the front after that. The first outrage point was Anthony Macri keeping the lead after the Brock Zierfoss flip. Macri was trying to not clobber the turned over 8 car and kind of did a lazy spin after the red had already been displayed. As someone who is ardently against the blend rule, this felt to me just really innocuous. The red was out. Second place Justin Whittle wasn't even in the same zip code as Macri. This was a complete non-story to me. I don't care one bit here that Macri kept the lead. Next was the Danny Dietrich work area refuel. If you want to have a problem with that, I certainly will not stand in your way. He should not have been allowed to refuel after he ran out and then returned to the race. Port Royal's promoter, Steve O'Neill, even admitted to Sprint Car Unlimited's Jeremy Elliott that it was a screw-up. Kudos to Dietrich and his guys, though, for throwing that one by officials. In that case, make the officials stop you if you're Dietrich. Bring it in, put the fuel in it, make them stop you. Dietrich running out, though, was a big sign that more fuel problems were to come, and like clockwork, just 2 laps later, we were again under caution as cars started to run out. One of those was Anthony Macri. He'd actually lost the lead in 3 and 4 to the charging Kyle Larson, but the 39M stayed running, moving just long enough to get to the caution before they crossed the line, and that caution negated the pass for the lead. Macri was able to keep the lead for the restart. Announcer Earl Hoon then calls out that it's a closed red, and we watch crews come out to service the cars. And this is where the internet really got mad. Hoon says closed red, but the crews obviously didn't get that memo, and work started like it was an open red. So then cue the outrage over Nate Repitz buffing Macri's tires. How could Port Royal allow such blatant rule breaking right on the front straightaway? Only it wasn't. According to a bunch of folks, it was actually an open red, but Hoon said the wrong thing. So should Port Royal take the beating over that, or Hoon? And again, though, if you were watching without the social media, none of that comes across on the broadcast. I would have completely looked past all of it had it not been for the social media stuff. The race goes back green, Macri wins, Larson second, Chase Dietz third. Macri admits the fuel caution saved him, and you know what? Sometimes you get burned, other times, like last night, it goes your way. Larson is annoyed in his interview about fuel tank sizes and chirping posse fans, and then everyone goes on with their lives. But the interwebs tell a much different tale. The only thing I really think is that's worth commenting about is this fuel situation. It seems like a really dumb problem that we start a lot of these races with a real chance that there isn't enough fuel in the cars to get to the finish. Either shorten the races, make the tanks bigger, put in a mid-race fuel stop, or every caution becomes a red so we aren't burning fuel rolling around. Just do something. These, what seem to be arbitrary fuel stops, always seem to make everybody angry, and they're sort of inexplicable. Imagine sitting in the grandstands next to a first-time race goer and the conversation that would ensue. So why is there a red flag? Well, everyone was out of fuel. They don't have enough to go the distance? Nope. Why? Some guys don't have tanks that are big enough, but some do? Well, yes. So why doesn't everyone have the bigger tanks? Because you can go faster with a smaller tank, less weight. But if you can't make it to the end, yeah, I don't know. The guys that run out before the yellow are thrown, they're mad because they get burned. See Darren Pittman at Las Vegas. Fans called conspiracy when the caution ultimately saved someone who's usually not their favorite driver. And guys like Larson are pissed because they have the big tank, they didn't need the yellow, and would have benefited from everyone else running out. And at the end of the day, I don't really blame the teams for running the smaller tanks. If you can get away with running less weight, that makes your car faster. I don't blame them either. But this might be one of the dumbest problems in sprint car racing, and it doesn't seem as though anything will be done about it. Because let's be honest, this isn't a new discussion. But anyways, just your typical Wednesday night in dirt racing. Still to come from PA Speed Week is Hagerstown, Williams Grove, one more port race, and Path Valley. Last night's BC 39 finale saw Ken and McIntosh get upside down in his qualifier, win the B to transfer to the feature, then charge from 19th to 1st in 38 laps to become the first ever repeat winner of the event. Gavin Miller and Jacob Denny joined him on the night's podium. Justin Grant battled Denny late in the going, but those two tangling ended up with JG's car damaged, and it allowed McIntosh to get into the mix. Another very entertaining USAC midget race, though, with the elbows out, sliders incoming everywhere. Hat tip to Ricky Thornton Jr. for a 17th to 6th run. Not bad for a late model guy. And I can't believe Logan Seavey is winless in series competition for going on more than a year now. His last USAC midget win was Hobstadt last June. And not like 3 days ago June, but 365 plus days ago June. He's led laps in 7 races since, but no dubs. Crazy stat for a driver who won 30% of the races just 2 seasons ago. A pair of Tylers were Summer Nationals winners last night at Spoon River. Tyler Erb now with 5 Hell Tour wins on the season and 20 in his career. He led them all in that feature last night, and Tyler nicely picked up the modified win to make it 3 wins in 4 races. He's trying to run down Trevor Neville for that title. The Summer Nationals continue through the weekend with races at LaSalle, Red Hill, Tri-State, and Duck River. And it was a good week for Stewart Friesen. That continued last night with the Short Track Super Series at Fonda. He grabbed a $7,700 win to go along with his Super Dirt Car Series win at Mohawk earlier this week. A lot of these teams will now go to Canandaigua today with the Super Dirt Car Series. There's no National Touring Sprint Car action this weekend. Both the Outlaws and High Limit are off for the 4th of July holidays, so don't go looking for those races. You're not going to find them anywhere. Regional and local stuff really kind of takes center stage. Besides PA Speed Week, there's FAST, there's ASCS, you've got Knoxville, All-Stars, AFCS. The USAC Sprint Cars are at Lincoln Park, and there's a lot more around the country. TJSlideways.com or SprintCarRatings.com, both good places for a complete look at the schedule. Besides the Summer Nationals, the Dirt Late Model weekend ahead includes the World of Outlaws at Deer Creek, with $50,000 going to the winner on Saturday. Lucas hits Atomic and Muskingum County for a pair of $25,000 win races. Jimmy Owens leads Hunt the Front in their Series 2 Sonoya for $15,000 win, and there are a lot of other local and regional shows. The schedule at dirtondirt.com is your best place to see the full schedule. We're going to call it good right there for today's streaming schedule at DIRTRACKR.com. Follow Dirt Tracker across social media, DIRTRACKR. Like and subscribe to the show. Enjoy the Independence Day holiday this weekend. Be safe out there. We'll see you guys right back here on Sunday.